Hey, so yesterday I recorded a whole skin update video to give you guys, a skin update, because a lot of you have been asking just randomly. All of a sudden, people started asking me for a skin update, and I was like, it's probably time for a skin update, because clearly I'm looking kind of different, but I realized I forgot to give like any sort of context whatsoever. So this is going to be the context, and the skin update shall follow. So basically, for anyone new around here, or in case you need a refresher, I have been going through something called topical steroid withdrawal for the last 8.5 months. The short of it is that I was using topical steroids for at least about 15 years, I think, and eventually I grew a tolerance. They stopped working, and so I stopped using them, and then chaos ensued. Topical steroid withdrawal is gnarly. Let's just put it that way. The biggest skin symptoms include basically like really bad eczema, but it's not eczema, it's steroid withdrawal, but it includes like really dry skin, very flaky, extremely itchy, oozy sometimes, really red skin, and then I don't know about other people, but I was losing hair on my arms and legs where the patches were particularly bad, not because I think it caused hair loss, but just because my skin was so messed up that like hair was falling out and couldn't grow. It also can cause some pretty radical swelling. For a while I had legit potato feet, and it also, I think the swelling caused a weird temperature dysregulation issue where like sometimes I would feel like a wave of warmth or like a wave of cold, or like it was just a weird temperature thing, but I think it had to do with the swelling and like the blood flow throughout my body. And then I also had swelling in my lymph nodes as well. And then since topical steroids are corticosteroids, they mimic corticosteroids in the body, and so it causes all kinds of ridiculous cortisol issues. So I was having the hardest time sleeping, going to sleep, staying asleep, etc. It for a while was causing weird epinephrine spikes at like really small things. You know that feeling when you miss a step going down the stair and it just like jolts through your body? I was getting that feeling from like if I turned around in a line and someone was standing behind me and it like startled me a small amount, my body would like freak the heck out. Also got my labs done near the beginning, and I had very slightly elevated TSH, not above normal by Western medicine standards, but elevated compared to where I was like a year or two before. Also extremely elevated CRP, which is a marker for inflammation. Like my body is just so inflamed. And then at the beginning, when it was just kind of continually spiraling downhill, I had some weird like muscle tension issues where like if I tried to grip something strongly, my muscles would shake, and I don't know what that was, but that happened. For the last month, I have been doing a ton better, which I am about to show you. So without further ado, here is what I look and feel like now compared to some of the previous months. I decided to film this like first thing in the morning. Like I literally just rolled out of bed. I have not put anything on my skin yet. Usually when you see me, even if I have no makeup on, I have like oil all over my body to help bring down the flakiness and stuff, but right now, totally clean. So let me just give you like a quick overview update of what my skin looks like right now, and then I'll go into all of the changes that have been happening lately that may have contributed to this healing. So as you can see, my face is looking so much better. Not only is it not super flaky, like I have a little bit of dryness right here, but it's also not super red. Like my face was looking so splotchy red before, and most of that has really gone down. I still have a little bit of like splotchiness around my cheeks, and you can see around my eyes it's a little bit darker pink as well, but overall my skin tone is evening out. And literally the other day my mom was here visiting me, well, not technically visiting me, but whatever. And I kept having her like touch my face because it actually feels like skin here and like here, and not quite, a little bit on my, it's soft right here now. For the last 8 or 9 months, my face has felt at minimum like paper. At worst, like the crusty part on the top of a brownie, like a really good brownie, where, you know, if you like touch it, it kind of starts to flake apart. That has been my skin, and so the fact that it feels smooth right now is just, I'm literally like over the moon happy about this. My neck is also starting to be a lot better. That you can kind of see, like it's definitely still dry, and you can see that like it does the weird like dry skin thing when you move the skin, but this is still a huge improvement from how it was a few months ago when it was so dry that literally turning my head caused it to crack and bleed. So even though it still kind of feels like paper, but back here behind my ears, so soft. But even though my neck still feels like paper, it's still a huge improvement. You can also see that like my chest is, it's like pale. I'm pale, my chest is now pale. It's not splotchy red anymore. Some mornings I still wake up and it's a little bit more splotchy red, but today it's actually doing like really good. It still has a little bit of like unevenness to it, but overall it's so much better. It's not quite as smooth, it's still a little bit papery, but like it's a lot better. My arms are where the most improvement is still to be had. Like you can see my elbows still look kind of weird and elephant skin-y, and the texture is still nowhere near skin. Flaking has gone down significantly. The redness has also gone down significantly. Like overall, my arms are feeling so much better. They're still where I have like the biggest amount of improvement to be done. They're lagging behind the rest of my healing process basically. Like it's still where I get the most amount of pain, because the dryness of the skin is kind of like, you know when you put on one of those face masks that like dries on your face and gets like crusty, and then if you try to move it feels like it's tearing your skin apart? That's how my skin feels 24/7, and that's where it's still the worst, is on my arms. So like just moving like this, I can feel the skin like pulling at itself, but it's like it's not anywhere near as painful as it used to be. It's more of like an inconvenience now, where it's like, ow, that sucks, but it's not like, oh my god, I literally cannot move, I'm going to die. It's also still where most of my itching occurs, so that's fun. I still have a few little patches on my arms that are really flaky and annoying, but not gonna complain because overall, I'm happy. My stomach is also like doing so much better. It was so red and like splotchy and weird, and I had like little dots all over it, and mostly it's like looking a lot better now. And then lastly, my legs are also a ton better. They still have a few spots that are like kind of dry and kind of flaky and definitely itchy. Like around my knees is just like the worst part, and then around my ankles. The other day, like completely around both my ankles was just scabbed over because it had been so itchy and then oozy and then crackly, and it was kind of gross, but still a lot better than it was. Totally forgot to mention my hands. They're doing so much better too. Like they were so bad for so long, like the entire time. They've never really healed, and now they're not purple anymore, which is huge. They were so deep red that they were almost purple, and they're definitely still like very cracked and craggly and not super comfortable, but they aren't flaking off. They work like real hands now, and it's just, they have come probably the farthest in the last few weeks. So overall, right now, my skin is a lot more smooth. The redness has been dissipating a lot. The itching has come down so much. I can actually most nights get to sleep and not have the itching keep me up or wake me up in the middle of the night, which is huge. Speaking of which, my sleep is also a ton better. I'm sleeping through the night most of the nights, and I can actually fall asleep most nights. There's just some nights where my cortisol is still definitely all over the place, and I'm just like wide awake at like 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. But for the most part, it's a lot better. The only thing is that I do still have a lot of like low-grade swelling all over my body. You'll notice I'm still not wearing my Aura ring again. It's because my hands and my entire body are still so swollen that like when I put my ring on, if I try to take it off, I have like a very indented indent where my ring was. And like the other day I was wearing socks that came up around my ankles. When I took the socks off, there was like a divot in my ankle. So I'm still like low-grade swollen everywhere. You can't really tell because I think it's distributed pretty evenly, but a lot of this progress has happened in about the last month, so I wanted to go through some of the key things in my life that really have changed. I think the first huge one is the fact that I moved out of my house. I'm living with my family right now while I find a new place to live, but I told you guys before that I thought I had a theory that I was allergic to something in my house or something was exacerbating the reaction, and I would not doubt if that actually was the case. There's still a chance that that wasn't the case, but considering how much better I've gotten since I moved out, I am not doubting the fact that my house was contributing to the lack of healing. I'm also a lot more active. I've been consistently getting in about 3 workouts per week, which is very different from the previous 7 months of healing where I was basically being inactive and just trying to get walks in. I've also been more consistent about my walks, so overall I've just had a lot more active lifestyle in this last month. And speaking of walks, I've been going on a lot more beach walks, which for me, like, there is nothing more healing than being in nature. That's like one thing that just gives me life in a way that nothing else really can. And so my aunt and uncle that I'm living with live very close to the beach, so I have been going to the beach probably 3 to 4 nights a week to just take a sunset walk, and it just calms me down so much, and I think it really has helped balance my body. And then outside of that, I'm also just being outside a lot more in general, not necessarily next to the beach, and I think just getting the fresh air, getting the sunshine. I make an effort to, when I'm outside, if it's warm enough, to walk with like no sleeves on so that I can get a little bit of vitamin D exposure. I think that has really helped. And then there's generally being outside and not being cooped up like at my desk all day has been major for at least my mental health. And you know, mental health is very closely tied to physical health, so I have no doubt that that has made a huge impact. I've also been a ton more consistent with the supplements that I was prescribed by my nutritional therapy practitioner, Christina Rice. That was something that I kind of fell off the wagon on a few months ago, and finally just really started rebuilding that into my routine. And then I also switched to a different probiotic, which I definitely think has been a game changer as far as my digestive health goes. Not that I had bad digestive health, but I really feel like it has boosted it even further. So that, I'm sure, has given me a boost to my overall health, which has in turn helped with healing. So with topical steroid withdrawal, the healing pattern is not in any way linear. Most people will flare and then they'll start to do better, and then they'll flare and they'll start to do better, and they'll flare and they'll start to do better until eventually they stop flaring and they're better. But that can take years, and you tend to get a lot better and then you get a lot worse. And so I was really hesitant to accept the fact that, yeah, maybe I was getting a little bit better, until I realized that I could start tapering off my crazy concoction of a body oil that I've been using. I'll link my video down in the description where I go through like all of the skin products that I use, but this one, major game changer when my skin is bad, when I am in a flare. But I was using that morning and evening every single day until about 2 weeks ago, when I started tapering it off, and now I'm only using it at night. And in the morning, the only thing I need to use is the Ned hemp infused body butter. And this is literally, this was my goal. I told you guys that like eventually I want to get to the point where I don't need anything and I'm just using the Ned body butter to do like touch-ups where like I'm a little bit dry, you know, like normal people dry, not like topical steroid withdrawal dry. And I'm like at the point now where I'm not in so much pain that I feel the need to slather myself in my body oil every day. I just kind of use a little bit of the Ned here and there to make my skin feel a little bit more hydrated, but I just do like specific spots that really need it, and then the rest of my skin I just kind of leave it alone. You guys know that I love Ned's CBD oil. It's the only CBD oil that has done anything for me, and it has definitely made my sleep a lot better. But I want to take a second to highlight their body butter because it is probably my favorite product of theirs. I love it so much that literally almost gone. I just ordered some more, but I had it sent to my parents' house, so I'm gonna have to drive down to San Diego sometime soon before I run out of this, which is gonna be in like a day. So we're going to San Diego soon, basically. But as much as I love their just like CBD oil that you take like CBD oil, this is my favorite product because it's been such a game changer for my skin. Like my skin loves this. It responds so well. It's so calming and moisturizing without, like a lot of moisturizers, they moisturize your skin, but then they kind of just dry out your skin, so you have to keep using the moisturizer. That's not at all the case with the Ned body butter. It genuinely helps my skin. You guys know my skin it needed help. Ned came and saved me in my time of need. So the body butter has their CBD in it, which is, in my opinion, the best CBD you can find anywhere, which I think really helps to kind of calm my skin. And there's a theory floating around in the topical steroid withdrawal community that your skin produces its own cortisol, and that's one of the reasons that your skin gets so messed up when you go off of corticosteroids. And so I have a theory that if that theory is true, then applying CBD topically might help balance out the skin-derived cortisol. And I mean, I am healing, so I might be correct, who knows. But also the rest of the ingredients in the body butter are so pure. It's just shea butter, MCT oil, jojoba, arnica, calendula, carrot seed, and raspberry seed oil. I don't know what that's for, to be honest, but it's natural. And then in addition to the CBD, it's just a blend of really well-sourced essential oils. That's it. So it's a very, very clean product and a very effective product. And when you buy through Ned, you're supporting small farms, local communities, biodynamic and organic farming, as well as the planet. They donate, I think, 1% of proceeds to different charities that help the environment. So it's just a generally good brand to support. Their CBD is slow crafted with genuine love. Like, I have met the founders. They are just so passionate about the process, and they do it all in small batches to have minimal impact on the environment. And it's just top quality, if I may say so myself. So I can't recommend this enough. It is a game changer and lifesaver for me. And if you want to try Ned CBD products, as always, you can use my code FITAndNerdy to get yourself 15% off. I will link it down in the description. Highly, highly recommend you go check it out. It's my favorite thing ever. So yeah, I am super excited to be sitting here with literally no makeup on my face. I mean, I have like eyes and eyebrows on, but I have nothing on my face, and I feel like I almost look like a real girl. I'm healing, I think, about 300% faster than the doctor who diagnosed me said I would. He said it would take about 3 to 4 years to heal. I feel like with the rate I'm going to be mostly better in about a year total, especially if I don't have any big other stressor events that trigger big flares. But as I also said, healing with topical steroid withdrawal is not linear. I'm in a really good place right now, but I have no way of knowing if I'm going to flare again, if I am even doing actually any better, or if this is just like a false sense of security that I have right now. It could be that like in 2 weeks I'm back to being absolutely horrible. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that does not happen, but like I have no way of knowing. But I do think that if I am able to manage my stress levels, I'm going to be in a much better position, because every time I have had a significant flare, it has been undoubtedly because I had a very significant stressful event in my life. So if I can rein in the stress, I think I will be able to manage my symptoms a lot better. But anyway, that is my skin update for you guys today. I hope that was, I don't know, helpful, answered some of your questions. If you have any other questions about my healing process, topical steroid withdrawal, anything I'm doing to promote healing, or any kind of videos you want me to make about this topic, definitely let me know down in the comments below. I'm more than happy to chat about it. Like this video if you liked it, because it really does support me and my channel. I really, really appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your healing buddies, or other people dealing with a chronic health issue. I will link my previous skin update video here and my detox video here. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.